Hey, I'm Adam,
Hey, I'm Melissa.
and this week is your weekly social.
Woo!
So, today we're actually going to be talking about a lot of things that we're seeing companies begin to struggle with.
We had the pandemic happen and everyone needed to stay indoors and we couldn't really do anything. Small businesses pushed really hard on social media. It was a way to connect with people. It was a way to let people and other businesses know, like, hey, we're still here, we're still operating, we're still pushing out product. Like, it's kind of a struggle and the world's kind of a struggle right now, but we are here. The social media posting was so consistent. It was almost daily, or at least every other day. You had people using TikTok, posting on Instagram, posting on their stories, using Facebook. Some people started like mini vlogs, and like that's when the whole like process of how I do A, B, and C videos started.
I think as the world is opening back up, we are busier than we ever were, but that's only because we're only pre/post-pandemic busy. We have forgotten what it's like to run the gamut, to run the race, and to like always be pushing. And not that we should all be in a rat race, right? Like that's a different type of race.
I don't like rats.
But in terms of like running your businesses and posting on social media, I think a lot of people have forgotten what it's like to be busy and then continue to post on social media where, things slowed down and things were profitable. Like during the pandemic, there were very profitable businesses and we worked with quite a few of them. But that doesn't mean that we can shirk our responsibilities in our brand awareness campaigns and a lot of our other social media outlets.
That kind of brings us to 3 things that we wanted to bring up today on how to navigate through that rat race, through, how do I take how I grew during the pandemic and put that into today's world now where things are opening up, we can do more things, so I can go outside, you can go outside, but how can I keep up with social media without feeling too overwhelmed by it? And so one of those things is really just keeping up with that consistent posting. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't have to be that every day, every other day schedule that you may have had beforehand. It could honestly be like, I want to post 2-3 times a week. And then once you figure out what your 1, 2, and 3 posts are going to be, well, there you go. And it doesn't have to be every day. It doesn't even have to be like, you don't have to be running sales every day either. You can honestly just be doing like, hey, I have a sale coming up, if there's a sale coming up, a product feature, or just if you have like a physical store, here are my store hours. And that's okay. As you work through how to be open again and allowing people into a physical store if you have one, or even taking in orders online or, through Instagram, it'll be something that you can navigate through. And by having just a steady schedule that you know that you can keep up with is what's really going to help your followers who probably maybe found you or really engaged with you during the pandemic keep up with you and not forget about you. Because the moment you stop posting, people are gonna stop checking up on you. And that's the unfortunate reality of it. And even like for me personally, I stopped posting on my personal social media a while ago. I do it once in a blue moon. And I noticed a really strong drop between how people would engage with me when I was like super active on my personal and how much they don't interact with me now because I stopped posting like 2-3 times a week or however often it was.
And there's kind of an expectation when things are scheduled, right? Like it's been a little while, like I don't know how many people really watch cable TV and remember, okay, at 8 p.m. on Friday or Saturday night, we're going to watch Seventh Heaven or whatever.
George Lopez?
Right? Yeah. Those things kind of have adapted and changed, yet it still exists inside of Instagram and YouTube and these other areas where I know, hey, Monday, Wednesday, Friday is tech linked. That's a YouTube show that I watch. I know Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it comes out. People naturally tune themselves to content when there's an expectation that's built and created. And they know about it. Even Twitch streamers, they have a schedule. They at least say, hey, from 7 to 9, I'm going to be streaming. Yeah. They have that set schedule so that they're prepared, they're ready. But the other part is too, just because you might not be at home and bored and posted a lot, but now that you're back in the workforce that you shouldn't post, But I think it's time for you to hone in on the posting. And that's kind of our second point that we wanted to address today. Stepping up and scaling your content a little bit now that you're not in your home as much, but then you're kind of either in the business a little bit more, or in your store, or in these other locations a little bit more, what that looks like.
Yeah, and that does focus a lot on the kind of like be you in your brand, and then like not you in your home, right? It's kind of like having like personalities, but they're still you. So when I'm at work, and I'm talking to clients and I'm posting for ourselves, I'm going to try to sound a bit more professional, composed, and a little more together. Not promising it happens all the time, but there's more effort that goes into that versus when I'm posting on like my Snapchat story, like I'm a bit more relaxed. People see me without the makeup, without the straight hair. This isn't natural. And just a little more just like at home relaxed. And depending on how you approach social media during the pandemic, maybe people saw a bit of everything. They saw a bit of relaxed you. They saw a very professional you. And now is the time to separate those two, because you want to be identified as how you want your brand to look. So you need to look, walk, and talk like your brand when you're posting about your brand on your social media for your business or your company or whatever it may be. On your personal social media, do whatever you want. But keeping those two things separate is really going to help with, one, your brand identity. It's going to eliminate that brand confusion, because eventually it's going to be like, oh, well, people really like it when I do, these more like at-homey kind of things, but that's not who I want to be. So if that's not who you want to be, work on making that separation now and kind of easing your way towards that revised, renewed brand identity that you can project to your followers and show them, like, pandemic was hard, I was really lax, and we did a lot of stuff from home. I'm gonna go outside, go to my shop, go to my store, and now you're gonna really see like everything kind of come together, and like the beauty and the process and everything like that.
The big thing is to be asking, what do you want to be known for, right? When somebody comes to your Instagram profile, what are they going to see? What are they going to immediately identify with you? When they go to your YouTube, what are they going to immediately identify with you? There has to be this level of consistency. And the way that we always try to look at it is, what's the end path, right? Like if we're trying to go to Vegas, what's the road? When we know our destination point, we can then work backwards and figure out the type of content, the type of vibe, the type of branding, the type of identity that we need to be shifting ourselves into to reach that destination point. And I think a lot of people do struggle with that in terms of brand confusion. Okay, well, this might have gotten a lot of likes, but man, that's not really what I want to be known for.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's going to be harder. Sometimes the things that you want to be known for will not immediately provide the results that you want. Especially in the way that Instagram is changing their hashtag system, it's going to take a little bit of time for you to be identified with the hashtag subject matter that you're trying to get. And that's okay. It's okay for it to take a little bit of time. The way to kind of get around that is to push some advertising. And that's okay too. It's also okay to ruffle some feathers. But it's okay to make people a little bit upset. It's okay to have someone say, well, actually, you need to be known for the thing that you're going to be known for. Even if that's like bubble tea, if you're using powders or like real tea leaves, right? There's always going to be someone who has that preference.
There are some powders that taste really, really good. Yeah. And some powders that I just grew up on, so I learned to love them. But then you get like fresh fruit, or you get the like fresh tea leaves. That's my preference when I go to certain places. Like there are certain drinks that I'll get for how they're made, and certain ones that I won't. But other people will, and they're like, "Oh, it's so good." I'm like, and that's just getting boba. Like it's gonna happen on social media. It's gonna happen even in real life, where there are gonna be people who agree to disagree, who will just blatantly disagree with what you may have to say or how you do things. But if that's where you're confident and that's where your brand is at, then stand firm there. And also be open to opinions. We're constantly open to opinions and revisions where it's like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I never really thought of it that way. And that's okay too. But staying true to who you are and your brand is going to help you get the right audience for your followers, for your accounts, and the right kind of business that you're looking for, and not the business that this other person who disagrees with you would want.
And that's all we have for today's Weekly Social. Thank you so much. If this content was helpful, feel free to hit the bell,
Ding.
subscribe, give us a like. If you didn't like the video,
Heart.
it's okay. We're okay having dislikes.
We're secure.
We're secure. If you have questions or comments, please use the comment section down below. We'd love to engage in a conversation and make more content that's helpful for you. All that to say, have a good weekend.
Thanks for watching. Bye.